president, who in fact has gone on to hail the missile strike by Iran against Israel, and he goes on to call it as a decisive response to Israeli aggression. Now, the Iranian president has posted this on social media platform X, and I'm quoting from that statement. Based on legitimate rights and with the aim of peace and security for Iran and the region, a decisive response was given to the aggression of the Zionist regime. This action was in defense of the interests of the citizens of Iran. Let Netanyahu know that Iran is not a belligerent, but it stands firmly against any kind of threat. This is only a corner of our power. Do not enter into a conflict with Iran. Siddhant, this is another warning, a counter one at that, that's coming from Iran now.
Well, yes. And in fact, many experts were saying that it's not a right window for Iran to retaliate because, in fact, we also have been talking about this on our channel, that how U.S. is busy in elections, Biden is on an exit mode, and, it's not an apt time for Iran to retaliate, and which could throw region into a larger conflict. But since Iran has retaliated now, many experts also say that this has been done to keep the domestic audience, happy, and also to send out a message that look, we can also retaliate, we can also fire rockets, missiles to Israel. And in fact, when this happened and when this was happening, there were celebrations which happened in Tehran and other parts of Iran. So, it should also be seen with this viewpoint that this has been done to keep the domestic audience satisfied,
okay,
that we can also attack Israel and we can also take the revenge. Back to you.
Thank you so much for that, Siddhant. In fact, let me now take this across to my guests who are joining us early this morning. Major General A.K. Sivach, defense expert, is with us. Also with us is Mr. Ravinder Sachdeva, who's an international affairs expert. Major General Sivach, I'll come to you first. About this particular warning, a counter warning by Iran, especially after what was said by the Israeli Prime Minister. How do you read this, sir?
Griya, see, we have to understand the situation as building up in Middle East now. There is no denying the fact that Iran was under tremendous pressure after Israel has eliminated Hassan Nasrallah. So they have to show domestically also to its militia as well as its proxies, Hezbollah, Hamas and Houthi rebels, that they can also react. Now the point is that every time this is very clear that Israel wants the Iran to come into this war. In case Iran comes into this war, then there will be entry of US. And once US comes, then US and Israel are very strong compared to Iran, and its nuclear installation are going to be the targeted, also its energy sector. Now, having said so, the point was that Iran had no choice. I suppose it is more of a face saving what has been done by the Iran now. They have fired almost 200 ballistic missiles. Possibly they say it is Fateh hypersonic. But there was no surprise. The Israelis knew it that they are coming. Their Iron Dome was already alert. And also the interceptors of the ships which were there in the Red Sea of US. So 98 to 99% all these missiles have been intercepted. So as far as Iran is there, it is claiming that it has achieved its aim and it is able to strike in the heart of Israel. At the same time, Israel has proved that their Iron Dome system is impregnable and missiles have not able to penetrate. Now, what will happen now? The point which comes is the ball is in the court of Israel. Now, how Israel is going to react to this? See, the US does not want the situation to escalate, and especially because when they are in election mode, the president election in November. But Israel was thinking that in case Iran comes into war, it suits their domestic politics also of Netanyahu, and also it will able to suck in US. Now it all depends what will be the reaction of Israel, because Iran says very clearly they have done it what they thought is the right action. Now Israel is the one which has to do it. In case Israel react and Israel react with might, then there will be escalation in Middle East, no doubt about it. And you find it then, more actors and characters coming. But certainly two things stand out, Giriya. Now, as the public opinion or the countries in Middle East were, when Israel has attacked basically on Hamas, there was a public opinion which has gone against Israel because there was casualties as far as Palestinians are concerned. But as far as Hezbollah is concerned, whatever is happening in southern Lebanon, there is not a condemnation on that. Everyone knows that Hezbollah is a militant group, and the way they have reacted. Israel is not being adversely commented on that. So I suppose Iran stand isolated. There are not too many countries even in Muslim world along with Iran. Now the question comes is what is going to be a response of Israel?
Okay, Mr. Sachdeva, do you really feel that Iran stands isolated here, especially in context of the Middle East? Because I really want to understand, and this escalation has happened especially after the killing of the Hezbollah chief Hassan Nasrallah, and from what we see and what the experts are believing is that this has lent out a bigger blow to this entire axis of resistance than what the killing of maybe Ismail Haniyeh really ever did. And that's why you're seeing this kind of an escalation by Iran, something that Israel was thinking otherwise. They thought that Iran would lie low for a bit. They will in fact weigh in their options and not really attack. Do you think it has caught both US and Israel by surprise?
I would not think so, honestly. I mean, they would know it. They would have their various war gaming scenarios and, made out. It would not. But yeah, some elements could surprise you as to the timing. That could be the quick timing of the Iranian response. That's one I would say. In the big picture, to the question that, how does one read it? This, what is happening is classical in international affairs. This is a spiral happening. The counter to the counter to the counter, it all builds up. So this spiral is building up. And this spiral is building up towards essentially targeting Iran's nuclear program. And this has been Israel's intent, even notwithstanding the Gaza Hezbollah. It's Israel's intent to prevent Iran from becoming a nuclear weapon state. Okay, and Iran is pretty close to it. So that has been Israel's game plan, and Israel has also been trying its best to rope in and pull in America into this. Israel has been pushing America not to go ahead with a nuclear agreement, of which Trump pulled out of. Because Israel says that the issue with Iran should not only be the nuclear, but also terrorism. So now what we are seeing is that it is heading towards that. So from Gaza, then Hezbollah. I mean, Gaza was a very, unpredictable, this thing which happened. But beyond that now, what Israel has decided seems to be is to, go up, go out after Hezbollah, etc. Now, there are a couple of things to this also, I would think. This helps Netanyahu politically in some very smart ways. See, he is denying Biden a peace, forget a peace treaty of ceasefire, right?
Yes.
Which is eroding Biden's standing, or Kamala Harris standing now, amongst the certain Palestinian American segments who were very upset with Harris-Biden policy in Gaza. And this indirectly, therefore, helps Trump. And for Netanyahu, it is good that Trump comes back to power. If Harris comes back, she has talked about a two-state solution. Clearly, she's saying they should be right. So Harris would be a different cookie. But if Trump comes, he's a known commodity and he'll stand with Israel the way Netanyahu and they both want. They're both, in a way, very quick and maverick. So that is one other issue playing out in parallel with respect to the timing. So this is a viral. The one thing which I think really out of the box which could happen, Iran could go ahead and do a nuclear test, just a test. Because now the situation for Iran has come pretty, for both actually, but more for Iran, it has become very critical. So it could take some such step to convey to the world, okay, I am a nuclear weapon state now. Though Iran has not been wanting that. And particularly this president is a comparative moderate and they want to get over the sanctions and all. But it seems Iran has been pushed into a corner. And so therefore, Iran has been pushed into a corner. And therefore, the spiral will go up. And as the spiral goes up, it will